Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client's tarot reading. We're going to be reading about a certain somebody that my client is asking about. So they met somebody and they are going to be, well, they're starting to date. They've gone on a couple dates and my client is just curious to see if this is going to be going somewhere. Are they going to be exclusive? Like, where is this headed? So I think for this reading, I'm going to work with the Victorian Romantic Tarot. I really like this one. And I also want to work with the Psychic Tarot for the Heart. I think those are really good decks to work with for love. So let's just do that. And then we will see. We'll see what the cards reveal. So I know you mentioned the two of you went on a date. Then you guys were talking a lot through like texting and stuff, and then after you went on the date, things kind of subsided a little bit, but then it sounded like you two were still talking. So we're just gonna pull on the energies of this connection that you have with this individual, and then I also want to pull on you know, where it's headed, that kind of thing. And then I also want to pull on what are his intentions for love and yours, and just kind of see how the two of you will kind of flow together. And then we'll go from there, okay? Psychic Tarot for the Heart. I just like to mix the cards up a little bit because I do read with reversals with this deck. So that means if they come up upside down, I will be reading with them. That's something that I used to do a while back with my readings, and then I stopped. And I'm starting to pick it up again, but only with certain decks. So all right, so let's pull on the connection between you and this person in question, and then we will go from there. Let's see if I could make this just a little bit lower. There we go. Helpless and hopeless is the main connection here. That is between the two of you. We have the Two of Swords, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So what I'm immediately seeing here is that there is a lot of lack of confidence in this love connection. This is basically a lot of nervousness, a lot of blocks. Okay, so the Two of Swords is all about blocks. It's all about not being you're not allowing things to flow naturally. It's like someone's trying too hard, somebody is not trying at all or not enough. Okay, the helpless and hopeless is like, this is revealing two possible pathways, and the person is indecisive about which one they want to take. There's two possibilities here. So it almost gives me the feeling like your guys' connection together is still 50-50. It's still revealing that it could go in a positive way, but it could also still have the potential to lead into the direction of nothing happening at all. Okay. To the other side, we have the Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands is usually a card of balance and stability. That is a possibility in the future because it's in the future position. And that is a positive to see. So what I see here is the two of you want stability in relationship, but I feel like when it comes to having to put the work into it, one of you is not as inclined as the other person would be. We have a Page of Pentacles. I don't know if this guy that you're talking to has a child, but perhaps he does, and that is what the page is representing here. You have a child. It could be that too. It could be maybe it's you feeling a little bit nervous to bring a new person into the mix and having to reveal them to your son or daughter or vice versa. Okay. So that's what the Page of Pentacles is making me feel like. It's almost making me feel like, you know, eventually that day is going to happen where you're going to have to introduce, but you want to make sure for a fact that this is going to go somewhere before you do so. The Ten of Swords is a card of surrendering. This could be a card of surrendering to your fears of commitment. This could be the surrendering of his fears to commitment. But it's also a card of just feeling really exhausted and depleted when it comes to love. And so I feel like, you know, he could have come from a rather rough experience in his recent dating life. Vice versa, it could be you too. And I see a lot of that being reflected into this present possibility, okay? Because of the helpless and hopeless, the inability to make a decision right away is telling me perhaps there's just feeling unsure about introducing the children to the mix, and then also unsure because maybe one of you is insecure about the past and is fearful of repeating old cycles, that kind of thing. So I kind of see that as well. Let's see, we have listen, we have moving on, and we have daydreams and decisions. So it's hard for me to say right now based on what I'm feeling, because this moving on could say moving on and, you know, just going for it, you know, really just stop worrying about the little details and give this relationship a try. It could be that. But then the moving on can also give you the feeling of, if your feelings are, and it's another 8, by the way. And 8 is like infinity. Moving on could also be moving on from this situation as a whole. Maybe this person is just not giving you what it is that you want, and you feel that. So right now, as you are watching this video, I ask that you ask yourself, where do I feel pulled in this crossroads? Do I feel more pulled towards this is the guy I want to be with, or do you feel pulled towards moving on as in this is not the guy I want to be with, it's not going the way I thought it would? What is your intuition telling you? And the reason why I'm asking you that versus me telling you what to do is because I don't want to tell you what to do. I want to leave the reading to a point where it allows you the ability to make a decision for yourself. I just want to lay out the cards and tell you the energies involved and possibilities, but I want you to ultimately make the decision for yourself. I am not here to tell you what to do. So I ask that you ask yourself that. And if what you're coming to mind is leading you to believe one way or the other, trust those feelings, because that's your intuition talking, okay? I also pulled listen, so that's why I say you need to quiet your mind and really tune into your heart and ask yourself, what is your intuition telling you? What do you feel called to do in this situation? Okay. And then we have daydreams and decisions. So I feel like it's like, rather than fantasizing about what you would like to have happen, it's time that you make a decision and see it for what the reality is. And I feel like you are tending to live in a fantasy. You tend to daydream about the good things, and maybe you're not seeing all of the picture. Okay, so I'm just putting that out there. Let's discuss what his intentions are for love and yours, because I want to see if you two are aligned, or if you both want different things. Okay. So for him, 3 of Wands, 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords. Okay, So definitely what I'm seeing on his perspective, he's really not ready to commit. The Three of Wands is telling me he's leaving his options open. He is still seeing what else is out there, okay? He's not ready to commit to one person right now. He's willing to date, whether it's you or other people, multiple people, but he's not ready to say, I want to settle down with one person monogamously, okay? The other cards that I pulled are the Five of Swords, which is a card of a lot of mental conflict, okay? This is arguing. This is just not being in a good headspace. And then I pulled the Six of Swords, which is like he's a fight or flight kind of a person, and mostly flight. I see that he has the tendency to pick up and take off if things don't go the way that he wanted it to, or if there's too much nagging and drama in the relationship. He doesn't stick around long enough to work it out. He kind of takes off. It's like, I don't want to commit too much of my time and energy to this. Bye. Okay, so that's the kind of energy I'm seeing as far as what he's willing to put into love. He's not ready right now. Now, I'm not saying it's to say he's a bad person, but I'm just saying what you may be looking for is somebody who's more committed, and I'm not seeing that in the cards. For you, oh no, this is more still for him. Challenging times in reverse and opportunity beckons. So telling me challenging times in reverse is telling me that he's really slow to action with dealing with some of his issues. Almost like he kind of runs away from his past. He runs away from conflict. So that could be very problematic. That is actually a red flag for me, in my opinion. Somebody who doesn't want to deal with their issues, they just kind of run away from it. These issues will almost always come and catch up to them in the end, okay? Then we have opportunity beckons, which is telling me that he is the person who will initiate conversation. He does initiate, let's go out, let's have a good time, that kind of thing. If he sees an opportunity, and which is interesting because it has the infinity symbol, the 8, and I was pulling a lot of 8s for you. So he may find that if you pull back and you don't text him often, or you're not calling him, he may start to be the one to initiate conversation with you because he's still interested. But is he willing to give you what you're looking for in a relationship? I'm assuming that you are looking for a long-term relationship based on your questions. It does not seem that that is what he's willing to give. He's more of a temporary, I want to just date loosely and see where I go, but he's not willing to settle down just yet, okay? So now let's look at you. Let's look at what energies you are willing to put into love. So we have the Three of Swords, we have the Four of Cups, we have the Six of Cups. Okay, so you do tend to think about the past. You get nostalgic. You think about a past lover. There is a past lover, perhaps, that you have not 100% gotten over. The Three of Swords coming up is a card of heartache and pain. It's a card of like breakup, betrayal, that kind of thing. So what I'm feeling like when it comes to you wanting to find love, it's almost like you're looking for the replacement to fill the void, that kind of thing. And I really, really want to say that another person can definitely fulfill your needs. But if you are stepping into love for the wrong reasons, it'll come back to you, my love. So you need to make sure, with the Three of Swords is really making me feel like you need to make sure you're ready, that you're ready for love, and that you're willing to quiet and put away everything from your past. You cannot do the whole reflecting on your past and your exes type thing. Even being in contact with exes, because the Six of Cups makes me feel like sometimes if they reach out to you, you will be open to talking to them. And I just feel like for your benefit, it doesn't look like it will do any good for you. It actually confuses you. So that's kind of how I feel with there. So we have challenging times now upright. Okay. And we have the Balance card in reversed. So that's telling me that you do reflect a lot on the past, that you, you know, there's a lot of things that when it's going wrong, or you're reflecting on your past of things that, you know, that you could have changed to make it better, but you didn't. Maybe there's a lot of regret there. That's still floating around with you. Balance in reverse is telling me that you're not in a good space energetically. It's kind of showing me that you're all over the place, and that's the kind of vibe I'm feeling from you. I would say that this kind of energy that you give off when you are dating is actually giving off to the other person. You are frazzled and you really don't know what you want right now, and that might make them hesitant to give you that. The Four of Cups is kind of a really good card to represent that too, because Four of Cups is like, you have opportunities, but you may not always feel motivated to do them. Okay, to motivated to take on an opportunity of love. You do a lot of your headspace thinking. You focus on the past, or you worry about little details, and it registers to other people. They notice that. So that might be a reason why he was a little bit more quiet after your first or second date. Maybe you came off in a too aggressive way, and he was like, whoa, we need to slow down a little bit. I feel like you kind of feel like you need to act a certain way because you're worried about making the same mistakes in your past. That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling from you. But I feel like you can't do that because your past does not define your present. And just because past lovers were the way that they were does not mean that it's going to, happen again. Everybody is different. So I just feel like right now, as far as love goes, I do not see a connection here. I'm going to be honest. Sorry, I just dropped my cards on the floor. Hang on one second. I do not see a connection. I feel like the two of you have different expectations in love, and they're not balanced. So I'm going to go ahead and say take it slow. I'm not, I don't want to tell you like completely write this person off, but take it very, very, very slow. Don't have high expectations as the end result. Okay. It's almost like, because I pulled the Tower, which we could take that as a symbol of breakup or things just not working, things kind of unraveling. And then I pulled the Ten of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, which is the child again. So your child. And then the Ten of Cups is like saying be more focused on family matters, spending more time with your child, with family. But also maybe you need to find somebody who's more family oriented. Finding a guy who is open to dating someone like yourself who already has a child, dating somebody who is either comes from a big family or wants a family of their own. Dating older is usually beneficial for that. If you date younger, you tend to, sometimes, not every time, but when you date younger, you tend to not be completely aligned in the same things that you want at the same time frame. Okay. I pulled sacral chakra and coming together. So I feel like if you focus on family, you spend more time with your child, you kind of change your points of view on what you're looking for in love. You'll start to radiate those kind of energies, and then you'll find that you may be attracting the kind of person that you need in your life. Okay. So I feel like right now it's not the time right now. I feel like once you do a little bit of changing your energy around, changing what it is your intentions are for love, then you will start to see love coming into your life, and you will actually start to attract the right person. Okay. The right person will eventually come along. That's what I'm seeing with that, my love. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that this gave you some answers. I didn't want to be as, super, super harsh, but I got to be honest with my clients. And if I see something like that, like, I don't want to just tell you, oh yeah, things can go really well with this person. And they may, especially if you have this talk with them, especially if you continue talking to this guy and he gives you feelings of, yeah, I'm really interested in you, but I may not be serious right now. Well, don't put on those expectations of being serious with him, kind of meet him in the middle, and he needs to meet you in the middle as well. But if you can't seem to look past the fact that he's not willing to be serious right now, then maybe he's not the right one for you. Okay. So you just have to analyze yourself, because you are the only person you can control. You cannot control him. And just go from there. So I hope this reading helped you out, my love. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out, and I will talk to you soon. And anyone who's watching, if you would like an intuitive tarot session, please click the link below. Check me out, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, loves.